Right, today we're going to be reading a new book and it's called Strawberry Storm. Does everyone like strawberries?
Yes.
When's the last time you had strawberries? Who can remember?
Yesterday.
You had strawberries yesterday, lucky you.
10 days ago.
Have any of you ever grown any strawberries? You have? Who did you grow them with?
My mum.
Grew them with your mum. Fantastic. Now this story is also about a storm. Does anyone know anything about storms?
We read about the rainforest storm.
Perfect. When we were doing last term, you're right, we talked about a storm in a rainforest.
A storm, like a tornado, it sucks everything in its path.
Excellent. You remember from far back when we talk about tornadoes.
And storms sometimes are not normally made in London or near us.
You have them outside of London as well. How would you feel if you were in a storm and we can hear some of the wind blowing around us? Amos?
You probably feel a bit scared, because what about if the floor opened up and it was getting all cracky and you fell down?
Feel a bit scared.
You might be a little bit frightened because, like, you might hurt yourself or something like that.
Definitely.
Like if you get hurt in like a storm and it's blowing you away, you might get hurt on the ground or somewhere else.
You might do. Let's have a look at our book then, okay? Here, so have a look at the front cover for me, please. When we're reading this book, what do we need to do if we find a word that is quite long? What should we do?
We should break it up.
Break it up. How do we break it up?
We say segmenting the word.
We segment the word and then we
Blend it.
Excellent, okay. If we come to an exclamation mark, what should we do?
Speak loud, but don't speak very loud.
We sometimes speak loud. What else do we do sometimes? So we need to...
Sometimes we speak like not our normal voice. Sometimes we high pitch, low pitch, and all different voices.
Perfect. Sometimes it's about changing our voices. And if we come to inverted commas or speech marks, what should we do?
You have to say it in a different voice.
We use our voices. Okay, excellent. Can you open up the book and can you read until page 7 to chapter 2? And then we'll stop. Chapter 3, sorry, and then we'll stop.
There's a contents page.
There is a contents page. What does the contents page tell us?
Where the chapters are.
Where the chapters are. Perfect. Get reading for me. And you're reading quietly while I listen to Naya.
It was Strawberry Saturday, the day in spring, when Misa
And that's the name of the person, so it's Misa.
and Dad planted strawberries. They worked together in the garden all morning. Dad dug over the rich brown dirt until it was soft and crumbly. Misa made small holes with her spade and carefully planted the strawberry plants. Next, she watered each new plant. Finally, she...
And what do we know about that word finally? What kind of word is it?
Well done.
It's, yes, it is a time connected. Perfect.
She and
Wait to eat the
Dad
strawberries.
sprayed.
That won't be another 10 weeks until laughed Dad. How about a ham sandwich instead?
So when you've got butter, what do? You
Spread straw around the plants like a cozy blanket.
well done. Keep going. Amos?
Look at the clouds. They're so big and green. Oh no, said Dad. There's a storm on the way. A green sky can mean it's going to hell too. But what about the strawberry plants? Asked Misa. Well, they'll be okay. Dad shook his head. A hailstorm is very bad for strawberry plants. They'll be cut to shreds.
Well done.
A storm on the way. Oh no, said Dad. There's a storm on the way. A green sky can mean it's going to hail too. But what about the strawberry plants? Asked.
Remember to stop once you get to, and I said chapter 2, but actually if you go to chapter 3, that's fine. Go to chapter 3.
Will they be okay? Dad shook his head. A hailstorm is very bad for strawberry plants. They'll be cut to shreds.
Well done, keep reading.
Dad shook his head and hailstorm.
Oh, so when you've got the speech marks, what should you do? Should read in a
Sentence.
If you've got speech marks, what's happening? Someone's
Doing something.
They are talking, aren't they? So you need to say it in a different voice, okay?
A hailstorm is very bad for strawberry plants. They'll be cut to shreds.
Good.
Lisa looked up at the clouds. The sky was getting darker and darker.
You okay?
It reminded her of the time she had Dad went camping. There was a hut.
Have a look at that word. If we didn't have the E on the end, you're right, it would be hug. But if we put a magic E on the end, that sound changes, doesn't it? It becomes... It was a...
Huge camping.
Now this is a huge word. What should you do to this word?
I'm going to break it up.
Okay, split it into 2 parts for me.
Camping. There.
This word.
Hundreds.
So if we split this word up, what's this word? Do you need to blow your nose?
Thunderstorm.
Well done.
And it rained non-stop. They were stuck in their tent for 2 days. They gave Missa an idea.
Good, okay. Right. Have you all read those parts? Yeah. Okay, I'll ask you a few questions. Right, in this story we heard something about hail. Has anyone seen hail before?
Yeah.
What is hail?
Is it those hailstones that drop on they're all white like in stones?
They're like stones. And what are they actually made of? Do we know what they're made of?
Ice, and sometimes if the weather's that bad, they can get thick and all big, and then they can damage certain things.
Definitely. Okay. What did Misa and Dad cover the strawberries with?
A tent.
A tent. Okay. Where did she get the idea to cover it with a tent?
Because she was thinking about getting she and her dad in a tent. Then she realised she can put the tent over the strawberries.
But where did she get that idea from? Have a look in the text. See if you can find it in the text. Where did she get that idea? What has she done before that gave her that idea? Ben.
It's a Dad tent.
You skipped a page there. Yeah. Why did she actually decide on the tent?
Because she said that she went camping with her dad.
Excellent. So she'd already gone camping before, so that had made her want to do that, okay? Where did she get the idea? Oh, no, we talked about that. Why did they need a hammer? So at one point they needed a hammer here. What did they need it for, Naya?
To put the tent up.
Exactly. And what parts of the tent did they need to put up? Amos?
The nails, but you have to get them so it can stay straight up.
They did, yes. What I'd like you to do now is read till the end of the book and then I'll ask you some questions there.
Dad hammered tent poles into the strawberry bed. When he was finished, Misa helped him to spread the tent over the top of the poles. Then Dad hammered tent pegs into the ground. That shouldn't do it, said Dad. That should do it, said Dad. Just then there was a loud rumble of thunder. The storm is nearly here, said Misa.
And we've got speech marks here, so what should you do?
Sing everything else. I'll race you inside.
Well done. Amos?
The wind roared through the trees. It made the branches bend and sway. Grr, boom.
Oh, check that word for me.
Crack, boom. Misa jumped when the thunder and lightning came. The windows rattled and the lights in the kitchen went off and on.
Well done.
At least the garden is having a good drink. Smile.
Smiled.
Miss.
So if we split it up into two words.
Misa.
Misa. Okay, so it's name.
Rumble. Boom. The wind roared through the trees. It made the branches bend and sway. Crack. Boom.
Keep going.
10 weeks later, Misa made Dad a special treat. Yum.
Ooh, do you think you could do that in that voice for me? If it's in Dad's voice, do a Dad voice for me.
Yum! Smiled Dad. Strawberries.
Who's talking?
Dad?
It's Dad, okay? So do Dad's voice for me.
Strawberries and ice cream. My favourite. They are
So here we've got speech, but who's talking this time?
Misa?
Misa. So can you do a Misa voice for me? You've gone all embarrassed now. So do you think her voice will be higher or lower?
Lower?
Lower than Dad's?
I think.
So you're doing a girl's voice. So do a girl's voice for me.
What, is it here?
Yes.
Strawberries are our strawberries, said Misa proudly. I call it strawberry storm.
Perfect, okay. Just finishing that last bit. You both finished?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Finish that bit there. Okay. Can we come back together? So what sounds could they hear in this storm? Can you find in the text, put your fingers underneath where it tells us what sounds they heard in the text? You found one, perfect. You found two different ones. Excellent, okay. Now those words in the text, they're different, aren't they? What do we call that kind of writing?
Bold writing.
It's bold. It's also all in it's bold.
Capital letters?
It's in capital letters. So what is it telling us? It's telling us it's very...
Stormy?
It's telling us it's very stormy, but
Loud?
loud. So those noises there that we can hear, they're very loud. There's also something on the end of those words. So we've got lots of different punctuation there. We've got capital letters, we've got bold, and we've got something else. Look on the end of those words, each one of those words. Ben.
Colours?
It's not a comma. It's not a comma. You're pointing to the right thing, but it's not a comma.
Exclamation mark?
It's an exclamation mark. Okay, so we know that must be really, really, really noisy. Okay. There was a special treat in this story. What is a special treat? Don't make noises. Amos.
The special treat was strawberries with ice cream.
Excellent. So they had strawberries and ice creams in that story. Okay. Why do you think Misa waited for that treat? Why did she have to wait to get that treat?
So the strawberries can set.
So
So the strawberries can set.
what do you mean by set?
So they'll get to grow.
Excellent. Okay, so they had to wait. How long did they have to wait? Can you find the words that tell us how long they had to wait? Find it in the text for me, please.
Found it.
Excellent. You found it. Put your finger underneath for me, please.
Oh, I
I can't see it. I can't see it. Perfect. You found it. Good. Found the right page, which is perfect. It's not actually on 2 pages, but you found one of them. It's in the last paragraph. Have a look at the last paragraph, see if you can spot it there for me. You found it pretty quickly. Well done. Well done. Not there. How long? Should we help her? What line is it? You found it. Perfect. Okay, so it took 10 weeks for them to be able to do that, and they couldn't get that.
As well.
You're right. It says it at the end of the book, and it says it in the middle of that book. What did you think of that book? What did you think, Ben?
I think it was kind of nice.
It was a good book. What did you think?
I think it was a good book because it has bold writing and it has lots of descriptive language.
There's lots of descriptive language. Shall we see if we can find some descriptive language in there? See if we can find any adjectives within the text. See if you can find an adjective for me. Lots of adjectives. Well, that's not an adjective. Remind me, what's an adjective? Because you're pointing at verbs for me. Remind me what an adjective is.
It's an adjective says what you're doing.
It's not what you're doing, that's a verb. What's an
To
adjective?
describe something.
It describes, okay, so you're looking for words that describe things that are happening. Perfect, you found the word green. That's not an adjective. Big, well done, you found big. Ben, keep looking for one more for me. You've got big and green. Do you think you could help Naya? If you help Ben to see if you can find one, swap a page on there to see if you can find an adjective there.
Page 8.
Just show him the page and then he'll find it on that page. Yep, so have a look. See if you can find an adjective there. You've got page 8? Yes. So if we were looking for an adjective, we'd look for perfect. You found it. Good. And you found that one there, okay? So this book, you said you liked it because it had lots of adjectives in it. Anything else that you really liked about the book?
It had descriptive language. It didn't just make like people. Some people put like good like titles and make it sound good, but then put boring adjectives and not adjectives or boring stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And it's nice because it's got good pictures in it.
Okay, good. Now with this book, if we were to do an activity to go with it, what might we do? What might we make or do with this book if we were to do something afterwards?
We could. Some of us can pretend to be the trees in the storm, and some of us can like a ball shape in our hands and put it high, go on the tiptoes, put it high, and as slowly come down, and
So what you're saying, we'll act out something to do with the book. We could do that. What do you think,
we
Naya?
can do a story map.
We might map the story. That'd be a good idea. Okay, you've done really well. Well done for reading so nicely. Thank you very much. Do you want to put the book together for us?